Hey everybody, Tony D with a lamp video. Um, Final hot take, another final hot take. I thought I had 4 videos, but I only did 3. This one is about, I don't know, proof. I guess you could say. There's this weird thing on the internet with proof. And look, there's a lot of stuff on the internet. It's crazy wrong. And people get taken in. I've been taken in on things. I've been wrong on things. I'm totally willing to admit that. But, there are people on the internet who insist upon proof. Give me proof. And, they'll quote their proof. And their proof will often be links to sources, and those are some kind of proof. But like, I love when people, I got a guy in the comment section now arguing China's case, believe it or not, and saying that prove to me that China's ever lied. prove to me the communists lie. I'm like, I really don't have time or the effort to prove that to you, so you could go, oh well, that's the capitalist media saying that. Yeah, give me a better source. Like I'm supposed to like pull Xi Jinping onto camera and have him like bow in and go, yes, I did lie, and I'm very, very sorry. Like, that's the level of proof people are asking. That's why when Leslie Stahl, during the interview with Donald Trump, was like saying about the laptop, it isn't verified. It isn't verified. Even though the laptop was left behind in a shop with a receipt with Hunter Biden's signature, and it has Hunter Biden's pictures on it, Hunter Biden's emails, Hunter Biden's videos. It's all clearly him. That, at least 2 people on the email chains verify the emails. That's a pretty good preponderance of evidence that it's Hunter's laptop and that it's been verified at least enough. I mean, you can never 100% verify anything, really, unless you can see it and hold it in your hand. Like, I can verify I have a dog because I can pet the dog and hold the dog, but you just see the dog on video. As far as you know, Joan is just a little CGI puppet that I make every video, and that I cause to do different things and react a certain way. Well, yeah, he claims he has a dog, but the dog's not verified. There's no proof he has a dog. I mean, yeah, I could see her there doing stuff, but still could be a fake dog. Still could be a fake. I mean, that could be the conspiracy theory based around my channel. Let me spread it. I'll spread my own conspiracy theories. Won't that be great? But people on the internet, they know what they know. Okay? And and especially when it comes to politics, you can argue all day long. You're not going to change anybody, really. The kind of people, I think, that will change their opinions will do it quietly amongst themselves. They might stand to the side while 2 people argue and listen to both sides, and then in their head they might be going, oh yeah, that one guy has a really good point, yeah. But they're not going to like come out and say that, because 9 times out of 10 people don't like confrontation. But more than that, like, especially if they're changing their view, it's kind of embarrassing, right? Like, when I changed my view from being a Democrat and basically a progressive, I kind of learned more about myself in that process, which is why I changed my views. And one of the things I learned was that I really wanted to be liked, and that's why I was progressive. I wanted to be a progressive because I wanted everybody to like me. And I think that is probably true of a lot of progressives, that they just sort of join into it because, you sound like a total jerk if you don't. Like, what jerk is not going to want to support the progressive agenda and having a person live the life they want. You're some kind of animal if you don't do that. Well, yeah, on the surface it seems that way, but then when you break it down and you find out, well, really what we're talking about is an 8-year-old kid deciding whether or not they could switch genders at 8, then you go, whoa, wait a minute. Maybe I didn't sign on for that. Maybe there's a little more to this discussion than just straight up, I'm the good guy. And that's part of the problem. I actually dated a woman who one time was just so annoyed with me in that realm. She turned to me and went, Tony, you're a good guy, okay? Okay, there, I said it. You're a good guy. Like, she was really saying to me, like, get over it. Stop trying to be so nice so everybody will say you're a good guy. You're already a good guy. Stop trying so hard. Now, always remember that moment because it was kind of like, whoa. And in that moment, I learned something about myself. Like, maybe I'm trying a little too hard to be nice. Maybe it's not good to be totally nice all the time. And that's probably true. You know, Jordan Peterson says, you know, you have to have the ability to do violence. You have to have a little danger in you. It's kind of like that episode of the original Star Trek, because really that's the only Star Trek, where Kirk is in a transporter accident and he's split into two. And the first Kirk walks off with Spock and he feels a little weird, but he's okay. But then a second Kirk appears. Now the first Kirk is the good Kirk, but he's been removed of all the danger. And the second Kirk, oh, he's the dangerous wild man that lurks inside him. He's violent, he's impulsive, a little bit of a narcissist. He drinks, he revels. The other Kirk is the nice Kirk. He's friendly Kirk. He's buddy Kirk, and he wants to talk things out. He doesn't want to fight. And, you know, they eventually come to the conclusion, or I think Spock does, that the two Kirks need each other because those two personalities, you know, the compassion, but he also needs the danger, the dangerous Kirk. Without them, if they're not together, you know, he's not a full man, you know? And it was a really interesting sort of sci-fi take on that concept that you have to be, you know, a little dangerous. So I think the same thing applies with believing certain things, right? Yeah, we need verification. I mean, you need some evidence, but at the end of the day, you still have to make kind of that leap. There's still a little danger in even believing in proof. You know, the WHO at the beginning of the pandemic said, oh, don't wear the mask. The mask will make you sicker. And everybody told me, don't wear the mask. The mask will make you sicker. And they repeated that over and over again. They were very fancy and had tons of proof. Then they said, wear the mask. Damn it, wear the mask. You're going to kill grandma. And now they're saying, you know, and they push the lockdowns. Now they're, of course, saying no lockdowns. So, you know, you can't always go with the flow. Sometimes you gotta go with your gut, and sometimes there's a little danger in that. You know, there's a little danger in taking that leap and saying no. There's danger in going against the established norm. And you know, people on the internet, unfortunately, who are demanding this verifiable proof, I think what they're really doing is they're locking themselves in this sort of tower of, I don't know what you'd call it, like not an ivory tower per se, although it's a bit of an ivory tower, but they're locking themselves in sort of this mental fortress that they know you can't penetrate because you'll never have enough proof for them. You'll never have enough proof to like, you know, get through the defenses of their impenetrable fortress because they've already predetermined that you cannot possibly verify the information, and they're just standing on the top of the parapets going, Oh, go ahead and try. Go ahead and try to kick in our drawbridge. Ha ha ha! You won't. I am so very smart. And that's the internet in a nutshell, right? So anyway, um, if you want to see a little example of that, check out my comments section. There's a guy who I suspect is European, but I don't know. He says he's not from America. He's making this weird case for China, and at some points he's quoting Wikipedia, which is not a news source I would call verifiable. You know, it's okay for certain things, for trivia and stuff, but when it comes to like news, anybody can go into Wikipedia and change it essentially. So it's not exactly a great, news source unless you're talking about, something that's not like particularly important, something that no one's going to bother to like go in and change and lie about. But when you're talking about things that are partisan politics, or when the stakes are very high, or when you're talking about something like China, where the Chinese have literally thousands of people every day going into the internet and trying to, sway people, and this may be very well one of them. You kind of got to be a little more wary of that. So I guess what I'm saying is, pick and choose your battles. Don't be afraid to like say like this I think is the truth, but at the same time you got to be a little wary. You got to have some proof, but you don't need a mountain to fall on your head to understand that Joe Biden's corrupt. I mean, come on. He is.